Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for waking up to the pregame. This is the Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk. I am Shawn Xavier along with my co-host, Storyteller. Welcome, folks, for another exciting week. And you know what it is. We're here every football Sunday, and as it changes throughout the year, we go into Thursday, Saturday as we get closer to the playoffs, whatever it may be. But most importantly, we are streaming live here on Facebook, YouTube, and our Twitch channel, twitch.tv, the Hot Seat Podcast. And of course, as always, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. Best ad in the galaxy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing, man?
Recovery mode, right? Recovery mode.
So while you recover,
Yeah,
I'm just
man.
gonna,
Yeah, I can't touch that right now.
Yeah. Don't judge me.
Broke in the patio.
It's like broke
in the patio last night for real. Had the grill going, for the people that don't know how to work that grill. Even when the flames are sparking, even if it is propane or whatever, I'm trying to tell you, people don't know how to move that grease to the side and stuff like that.
Oh man, they ain't never worked at McDonald's before, something. That's what that is.
Yeah, but it was real stuff. Getting that going, got the fire pit going nice and smooth. First time breaking that in. Kids over there dancing the Jersey Club. Kids out there slipping on the leaves, trying to play cornhole. Like, just a good time. Roasting marshmallows, playing different games, seeing who knows who. Nobody knew nobody. It was a good time, though, man. Good time. And then got to come in and, see the fellas.
Good stuff, man. So. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, look, I ain't in recovery mode because I ain't go too hard last night. I came down and celebrated my big little brother Stefan's 40th birthday, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we turned up last night. But I was mindful.
Happy birthday.
I was mindful. I remember we was there, and dance floor was going. He said, "You drinking?" I said, "I'm good. I got it," because I knew responsibilities that I had this morning.
Spoken like an old man.
Yeah, I told him. I said, "Hey, it's your." I mean, I still drank. I had a couple of drinks, literally only two, and it was beer at that. So I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna ride this out." But I said, "It's your birthday. I've already done the 40-year-old thing. I'm cool. It's fine. It's cool."
Yes, you did.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm good now. And that was during the COVID year, so I'm good. And I did the 30 and the 20 and everything else. But
the 30 was
time. Yeah, yes, it was. It was a good time, man. It was a good time. I saw a lot of people. It's always dope when you can, when you can come home and you see people that you haven't seen in decades. And it's like it's almost like the first day of school. Like, you see your friends all summer. Yeah. And that's how it was, man. But in any case, man, it was a good time. And, we're back here, and then, before we did all that, I had time to watch some of the games and stuff yesterday. There's a lot happening up in my way of DC, Baltimore, mainly more so DC, as you can see. Yeah, so we're talking about that shortly. But let's get right on into it, man. A little bit of college football recap. You was talking about your guys. We'll work our way back because we want to wait for our guy to come on in and we can discuss what went down with them there. So we'll work our way back. Michigan yesterday was on the field. And like I said last week, this year, just looking at all the teams, and we look at what happened, the post-game activities regarding the Michigan State and Michigan last season.
Right.
That aside, I mean, not last week. That aside, I think that, and we were talking about how much, I think I said that Jim Harbaugh senses that this is the year, if all years, that I believe that Michigan has probably the best chance of winning a national championship. Just looking at all the other teams, because there's no one dominant team.
And that's where I was about to go with it.
Right.
And it wasn't going to be to the fact of cutting you off, but
no, you good.
I don't think it's because we have a better team per se than last year.
Right.
I think it's because we got a better chance than last year, if you get what I mean, because there is no dominant team.
None.
We'll get into it later, but there definitely isn't one dominant team.
Right.
So what is it there?
What you got in the chat?
Need that Folgers in your cup.
Yeah.
Somebody wasn't drinking, Claire.
Nah. No drinking last night for me. Like not like that. I came with
extra hours.
that hour back, was cool. It threw me off though for a minute though. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's more the reason why when we start breaking down specifically like this top 10 and stuff, um, it's just that there's no like just team that's running over the other ones.
Right.
You got teams that are just winning. You got teams that you were believing in, and then all of a sudden they look lackluster. I mean, let's be honest. You're sitting back talking about Michigan right now. That first half wasn't pretty.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
And we're talking about against Rutgers.
Yeah.
Michigan was down 17-14, and then they came out the second half to be a totally different team and put 38 more points up on the board to 0.
Right.
So they won 52-17, but what the hell happened in the first half? Yeah. Against Rutgers once again. So, at any time, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. No dominant team out there.
Even though we're going to get to this side of the ball, but it kind of reminds me of what's going on with the Eagles. The Eagles are undefeated, but they've had a couple of games, man, where it's like, ooh, we talk about Thursday night shortly. But yeah, that same thing with Michigan. I'm like, okay, that first half, because sometimes you punching down or you playing down to your competition and whatnot. Speaking of competition, yesterday when I came down here, I went to the Hampton University Women Mary game over at HU. Shout out to Daryl Blackstock, man, he's a good friend of my brother's. Got some tickets into the game and was watching, just some hometown folks play, some big dudes. They had number 77 for HU. Straight, I'm talking about the blind side dude. Like he's huge. Huge. Yeah, he's 6. He's got to be all but 6'6", 6'7". Huge left tackle. Insane. But yeah, so we had Michigan there, and then so Michigan, after some first half hiccups, they had, they took care of Rutgers. Yeah. But then you had the once dominant team that looks like it's lost its grip on some things, and that being Alabama.
That's a hell of a game.
It was a great game, though. It was a great game. It was not a lot of scoring. You're talking about it being 7-6 at halftime with LSU up. Number 10 LSU. Now Alabama was number 6 at the time. They're both now 7-2. So Alabama, I can see them drop it, but they're going to definitely drop out of the top 10, probably top 15, maybe. No chance for them making the college football playoff this year, I don't think. But yeah, man,
shouldn't be, put it that way.
Yeah, right.
There shouldn't be
with teams like TCU winning and then LSU beating Alabama and such. There shouldn't be any reason for them to be there. But at the same time, as great as they get, at the same time, we're talking about them. Clemson lost. To unranked 6-3 Notre Dame, 35-14, and Clemson was.
And old boy needed that game.
Yes. Yes,
that might have saved his job.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, right, Gary, right. But Bama, right? So yeah, he needed that. Yeah, they were talking about him being on the hot seat, and then before Clemson again, it wasn't the same Clemson that had Trevor Lawrence in them. Like no dominant squad was out there, and they handed them. I mean, really, Clemson didn't score in that game into the fourth quarter. They were getting shut out into the fourth quarter. And it was a wrap. So a long time since we've seen them actually do that thing. And then Ohio State, your Ohio State. I'm kidding.
But they didn't look impressive either.
Yeah, they were down with the Northwestern 7-0. And they ended up winning 21-7 in that regard. So like I said, their top teams, man, really didn't do what they're supposed to do. And Gary, of course, you guys tap into the chat, man. Tap into the chat with us. There's no to have the cashier to really say, "Oh boy, was on the hot seat." Yeah. Well, I guess what their expectations were. So yeah, I mean, but it's no.
Yeah, but this the one thing about that, Gary.
Right.
And just put it bluntly, you know what type of head coach he is. What?
Yep.
What melanation?
Yes. Right.
Yeah. You come into a university and a program like Notre Dame, and you come out looking the way you looked.
Right.
Those first couple weeks.
Right.
Yeah. You may think he shouldn't be on the hot seat. Hell, not to switch over to NFL, but think about Tomlin. He's always on the hot seat.
All the time.
He should never be on the hot seat.
In life.
But he's always on the hot seat. The man that never had a losing season until maybe this year. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So it's different. It's definitely a different take. And you're at Notre Dame once again. Like there's
Right,
no leeway there.
right.
No leeway.
Another team that played this week. Well, they were out there. Well, they opened up their gates. I mean, they
Mhm.
showed. I mean, um, they put on some uniforms. That was my Miami Hurricanes,
Oh, they played? I didn't even see this. No, let me go look.
and
What was the score? Oh, that's right. I only got the top 25. What was that score?
man, look. By this time, I was enjoying the festivities with my brother, man. But let's just
That's a good
say
thing.
they scored 3 points, and that was in the first quarter. The final
Against
score
who?
ended up being 45-3 against Florida State.
Woo! Look like you picked the wrong Florida team. You sure you want your son to go down there?
I hate it here. I have him going down there for the wrong reasons. I had him wanting to go to
I
Miami for the
know.
wrong reasons. He wasn't even gonna play football. I wanted him to play golf or something. I didn't even care about the football side.
Shoot.
I just wanted to be in Miami for the reasons that
So
gonna.
you could go.
Yes, exactly. But you going there? I'm going to see my son, man. He playing. He playing. He played
Mhm.
for UM.
Every week.
He on the football team? Nah, man. He play on the golf club. Not even the golf team. He in the golf club.
You
That's
know
all
they
it
got
is.
in the away game. Yeah, but I was
Dear Lord.
I was in the
Yeah,
area.
I think. And I was gonna surprise him and take him to a University of Maryland game this season. Then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to depress him or demotivate him. But yeah, it was rough. So yeah, that was tough to watch, man. The ACC, but the team that's surprising, and the reason I brought up Miami, for a lesser reason. So early in the season, they lost to North Carolina, which at the time Miami was ranked, and it was, oh man, this North Carolina team, how did they? But North Carolina is quietly 8-1, and they beat that Notre Dame team. They lost to that Notre Dame team who just beat Clemson. And Notre Dame right now is 6-3, unranked. North Carolina is number 17. They're 8-1.
They
And
just squeaked out a win against Virginia though yesterday.
they did.
Just.
They did. I feel like when I see stuff like that, I feel like they're kind of it's kind of like the NFC East. You play teams within your thing there. But I think their next big game they got Wake Forest and really nothing else. So if anything, if that team shows up and probably end up playing Clemson in the ACC championship game, you can
Look out for it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's gonna
Okay.
be interesting to see
Upset alert.
the Carolina squad, bro.
Since we got our regular viewer Gary up on
Yeah,
here, regular
right.
listener,
Yeah.
got to shout out Michigan State. I guess you would call it an upset in Illinois because they were ranked 16, only had
Right.
one loss going into that game.
They need all kind of good pub right now. They do right now. They need all kind of good pub.
Like I said last week, that was both sides. Sides
It was. So we had a couple of good. Then Penn State, did their thing. It's gonna be interesting, man. I know the college football playoff hasn't expanded, but I feel like this is the year that would have been great for them to have 8 teams, 12 teams, because there's no runaway good squad. I mean, to be perfectly honest, the two best teams could be Georgia and Michigan.
I don't even want to put that out there.
I'm saying. Yeah,
I'm just watching football, dog. I'm just watching football. I don't even want to put that out there.
So let's talk about it, man. This was the game. This was the game, and this is the game that I wanted to see, because once I saw the team get elevated to where they were, and I was like, So Tennessee, the first college football, so all season, the AP poll, Georgia has been AP poll and coaches poll, Georgia has been ranked number 1, rightfully so. So the first college football poll came out, and who did they make number 1? Tennessee. While the score itself, 27-13, seems like a close game, this game was not close, bro. It was not close at all. And Georgia went out there and showed them why they deserve to be number 1. And the thing that most people knew, that Tennessee defense kind of got exposed, and the offense, Malik Hooker looked human for a Saturday for a change. I don't know if he lost. I don't know if you can say if he, I guess you can tell me if you think if he lost any of his his status as far as the leading Heisman vote winner. But yeah, man, Georgia went in and they gave it to Tennessee. So much so that they tweeted out, I think, or something like that. They were like, because remember, after Tennessee beat Alabama, they tore down the goalpost and they marched on the field. What the fans did. Georgia put out a tweet that was like, "Hey, we don't tear down our goalpost for a regular season win."
That's tough. I didn't know they said that.
I saw that. I was like, "That's hard. That's hard right there." Like because it's what you got, Gary? So yeah. They had beat more ranked opponents, yes. But here's my thing with that. Because the rankings are done by humans. And last time I watched, didn't Georgia just win a national championship last year? If I'm correct. I think so.
Last year.
Yeah. I think that was rhetorical. Tennessee ain't won nothing since Peyton Manning, I think. Maybe T. Martin after that, or whichever, somewhere around that time. Yeah, I mean, if they came in at number 2, I would have expected that. Maybe number 3 behind Michigan. But I think Georgia, that might have been like
they got a tougher schedule than us, so I knew why they were above us.
That might have been a bulletin board material. Like, hey man, they came in, they got them number 1. Okay. I mean, for kids, these are still kids at the end of the day. Numbers are numbers. You know what I'm saying? They ain't playing nobody. So, and Georgia came out there and showed them up. Yeah, true. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, it's both sides good. We can argue, but either way, man, what you think about the game? What you think about the game?
You talking to Eric?
Yeah, talking to you.
Oh,
Eric too, if you here.
Eric was on there. Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Eric?
Or you, Dave. Either one of you. It's fine.
Okay. I just think this is one of those games they just didn't show up for as far as the Heisman side of it. Yeah, it is gonna hurt because this is that game. Right. You got to show up for that game. I don't know what other way to say it. I don't know if it was just coaching preparation going into it,
right?
Not getting your players ready for the game, but Georgia excels at those games.
They do.
See, Georgia will more lose a game to a team that's non-ranked because they didn't have their head in the game than one of these ranked games. They are ready for those type of games. I mean, go back to last year when they played us in the playoffs. I mean, oh Lord. Yeah. So yeah, they're just ready. They're built different coaching wise for getting up for these games. So yeah, I just think they didn't show up. I know that's not a lot to say on the game, but they just didn't show up. They looked real flat. Flat.
And it was crazy for the longest time. Georgia had been, them getting over the hill, getting over that hump was beating Alabama. They can never, every year it seemed like Georgia would be ranked in the top 5, top 4. They'll meet up with Alabama. Yeah, they'll beat up with Alabama. Then they'll lose. It'd be, every year it was like a disappointment. And they kind of got over the hump. And I think that might have been part of the NIL bit and stuff like that. But here's the crazy part. Georgia is winning, not even with a big name. Stetson Bennett is their quarterback. And this brother is, while he is 67.8% of passing, he's throwing only 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. 11 touchdowns all season, 3 interceptions. He averages just about 9 yards per completion. And he's just over 2,500 yards, 2,600 yards. So he's not even a world beater. He's not putting up crazy numbers. It's everything else. They play great ball. Like he might be a guy that when he comes out, he may get drafted like in the lower 5th or 6th round, be somebody's backup. Maybe. But man, yeah. Stetson
hey, just to answer Gary's question. Yeah. You see it there for the who's number 2 in the ranking for the Heisman. I know going into the week, it was Hooker, Stroud, and then Corum. Yeah. Corum was number 3, the running back from Michigan.
Right.
So yeah, Stroud didn't show up. Hooker didn't show up. Corum, I know I just had the stats up. Corum had 20 rushes for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. Once again, they didn't show up against Rutgers until the second half. I don't know what the hell is going on. First half, I'm surprised I didn't get a phone call from Earl.
Because I knew what the outcome was going to be.
But yeah, it was definitely a tale of 2 halves. So they showed up the second half. But Yeah, I don't know. That's another thing that's up in the air, that Heisman thing.
Yeah.
Who's shining every single week? We'll see if our running back can keep it up, but it's very hard for it to go to somebody that's not a quarterback.
Yeah, but I think this could be a
The
running
way
back
they set
season.
that Heisman up. Yeah, I mean, it's very hard for it to go to somebody. Besides, the quarterback really has to mess up.
I think the game, you know, the game I'm talking about, the game you're looking forward to when y'all go up against Ohio State.
Well, that's it. That's our season.
But if Corum has a monster game in that game, like he has a game, and they end up beating Ohio State as well, and he has a monster game. I think just from everything I've been looking at the quarterback, looking at CJ Stroud has 76 yards yesterday passing, bro. If Corum comes out there has a monster game, I think that will give him a overwhelming case to be the Heisman winner and front runner this year.
I'd have to check on that, Gary.
Yeah.
If it was Henry for the last one.
Welcome, Earl, and I appreciate you, man, reaching out to me yesterday and supporting my Canes as they played against the Seminoles.
I only supported them for 1 quarter, and then I turned it off.
When they had the whole 3 points in the whole goddamn quarter.
Let me tell you something. When I first turned it on, they had me hyped as if they was a winning team. This was the old Canes. I mean, the crowd was hyped. They
didn't show you the score yet. They didn't show you the score yet.
No, it was 0-0.
Okay.
You know, the corny PWIs, they be stealing what HBCUs been doing. They do that swag surfing. So now it's not even cool no more. You know what I'm saying? So they was doing that.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, the defense actually had a nice stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I turned it off.
Yep.
Next thing you know, I checked on there. I think it was 31-3.
Yep. So I'm at the lounge and club
Florida
last night.
State is trash.
Yeah. I'm there. So they got this huge screens in this lounge club we had celebrate my brother's birthday. And what they have on the screen, I look up and I see the score right there, the Florida State Miami game. I'm like, I shake my head. There's a guy next to me. He was like, "You must be a Canes fan." I'm like, oh, that's so bad. I just walked away. And I had to go back because I forgot my drink.
Over your face.
He was like, "Oh yeah, cool." Yeah, I was like, "Wow." At the same time, he was drunk too. He said, "You looking good, brother. I like your beard, brother. You know, you one of those brother guys, brother." Like, oh man, Jesus Christ. Well, thanks, I appreciate it.
Hey,
better than the N-word.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Just to answer Gary's joint. Yeah, the last running back was Derrick Henry. That was 2015 for Heisman.
Right.
Before that, you had to go back to 2009, Mark Ingram Jr.
Yeah, it was that one year that Louisville had that running back who won Heisman.
Don't do that.
Shout out
but
to
I'll tell you what,
man.
the mobile quarterbacks,
yeah,
that's like, you know, the nail in the coffin for the Heisman,
right?
Because you got let me see here, because Joe Burrow was definitely mobile.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray, Baker in college, he was mobile,
right?
Yeah, you got
only one of those three is actually prospered to be anything. Okay, 2
Cam Newton, RG3.
What was the other one that came out of that went to the Browns and then his family was rich?
You talking about Johnny Manziel?
Oh, you talking about Johnny Manziel?
Yeah, he won a while. He won it.
Yeah,
remember, the only time you saw him is because they had the Heisman commercials.
Right.
That's the only reason you saw it.
Yeah, that was.
How you feel if you're like Baker Mayfield right now? You're showing up in these Heisman joints, but you ain't doing shit in the NFL. Wasn't there a video that they had him practicing with the defense or some shit?
Oh, and he missed a whole little he was trying to throw to the corner like it's a little basket. Dude. He threw the joint and threw way over it. I'm like, who posted this, bro? That could have been on purpose.
They're like, yo, they got Baker playing defense.
Oh man. Hey, speaking of Cam Newton, man, I didn't know, so I got that. Shout out to his brother, man. His brother plays for William & Mary out there, and he plays Kalen Newton. And my brother told me, so he's, Cam he frequents the games. He's typically at William & Mary games. I don't know if he was there yesterday or not. Yeah, he's typically there. But yeah, his brother plays. He plays. He's a senior this year. He's a wide receiver. He's pretty nice though. He's pretty nice, man. Number 3. So salute to him, man. He was out there. I say word. I think I don't know if he was there yesterday. I think there was him, me and my brother sitting next to each other. And I was like, is that Cam? It might have been him. Yeah, he had the whole Cam outfit on with the brim hat, and it was real bright and a lot going on. But anyway, of course, man. So like that was college football weekend, man. It's gonna be interesting to see the conversation this week when they put the new, AP poll up. Who's going to get? Well, Georgia's going to be number 1. I think Ohio State stays at 2, and I think Michigan will stay at 3. And then,
they weren't 3.
Well, I mean, we'll come back up to 3 if
Yeah.
you're going to call it that way. And then you have, who's going to take the 4th spot, so forth and so on. You got a lot of teams, man, vying for you got a lot of one-loss teams that are ranked. And then now, let's see where this puts Tennessee now. Even though they got some really good wins over ranked teams.
They shouldn't drop dramatically.
They shouldn't.
They really shouldn't.
But the eye test tells you that
you lost against the team
Yeah.
that everybody was considering number one, even though you were considered number one.
True.
So
True.
I don't think they should take no dramatic drop.
They shouldn't. But sometimes the eye test tells you a lot. Like that tells you a lot sometimes. Like, did that moment get too big for Tennessee? And then, you know, is that going to happen? Because next, you know, next thing is going to be big for them is potentially the SEC championship game. They make it to that. So we'll see. And it's always different there. You always have your Alabama, Georgias. In this case, now you got LSU out there. Which LSU, I can see them moving them all the way up, man. That LSU over Alabama game was a nice.
Yeah, when did they become ranked? Because the last time I saw them, they was unranked. Now
LSU,
yeah,
I felt they were quiet. They were.
You don't remember?
For a second. Yeah.
You don't remember last week when I told y'all? I said, "Hey, one of the surprising people is Chip Kelly because he's one of those people that I was telling y'all he's made for college football. Well, he wasn't able to do his thing in NFL, but he's made for college football.
Right.
Well, full transparency, like I haven't been following LSU for a little bit, but let's say about maybe 3 weeks ago, roughly. I don't remember. I remember when they was playing somebody. I was like, damn, they not ranked. It might have been even early sooner than that, but I was like, damn, they not ranked.
Yeah.
And they got a so they're, you know, of course they lost to Tennessee earlier this year, but they beat Mississippi, Ole Miss last week, 45-20, and to beat Alabama this week in overtime. So now their next 3 games, Arkansas, UAB, and Texas A&M. So it's gonna be they can win out, man. They're gonna be a 1-loss squad or a 2-loss squad in this case, but you know, we'll see. I don't know if that's going to get them high enough in there, but hey, they still got to meet whoever wins that SEC is going to be, of course, is going to be in the CFP at the end of the day. It's going to be that.
Because who you still got now? You got Georgia undefeated, Ohio State undefeated, Michigan undefeated. That's up there towards the top. I mean,
right. And besides that, you got a lot of 1-loss squads, man. You really do.
TCU.
Yeah, you got TCU there, but TCU is at 7, so will they leapfrog somebody in there? I mean, well,
like a Tennessee? I don't think so.
But see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Will that loss, how Tennessee lost, will that drop them down in that case? No, style points matter.
I mean, it's definitely going to drop them down, but I just don't know if it make like TCU jump them. Because the 4 was Clemson and they lost, so they won't be there.
Right.
We'll definitely move up. Alabama lost, they were 6. So yeah, the ones taking a jump will be between TCU, LSU. Oregon had a win, but they didn't really play nobody.
Yeah. TCU has a TCU on their schedule. I don't know how much it matters now, but they had at the time they got over a ranked Oklahoma, ranked Kansas, ranked Oklahoma State, ranked Kansas State, and then next week they got number 24 Texas next week. So maybe next week is the week that if they win and if Tennessee has, you know, another poor outing, or they get a loss, you know, that's definitely gonna take them out because next week Tennessee got Mizzou, okay, and then after that South Carolina and Vanderbilt. So, you know,
what's good with Maryland, man? Are they who we thought they were? So.
Maryland, well, they didn't even play this week. So Maryland this week.
They played Wisconsin, I think.
They did. I'm trying to see, did they?
No,
they didn't play this. They didn't play yesterday. I think they might have played earlier in the week, though. I believe.
I could have sworn I saw it yesterday.
It was yesterday. I'm tripping.
Fact check.
Yeah, they played yesterday. They played Wisconsin.
Damn, why did I not see that on the screen? That's weird.
Because when I saw it, when I was watching it, they were up Wisconsin was up like 17-0.
Okay.
And then I think Maryland just scored a field goal that put them up 17-3, and then I had cut it off.
See there.
I feel like it was about to be a wash, but
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. 23. They lost. Yeah. 23-10.
mm-hmm.
They got a little way to go. They got a little ways to go. But I think did Tua's brother play in that game? I don't know if he did or not. Because I know he had that hip injury that happened.
I don't remember.
Gary said 3 turnovers.
Okay. Okay. So that's they still. I mean, they still coming. They still got a lot going. They got a nice foundation of players out there. But yeah, we'll see what they look like next year. I feel like this should have been the year that they should have stayed in the ACC. You might have had a better chance. Because you sure as hell would have beat Miami. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, yo, stop. Listen, Miami. At this point, I want Miami to play Jackson State, yo.
Man, listen.
They won yesterday.
Yeah, they still undefeated.
Yeah, they did. They did,
Yeah,
man.
they
Salute the coach pride,
Hey, yo,
man.
Sidebar for that. Let me just take like 2 minutes on him.
Right.
Yo, shout out to Jackson State and Dion and them doing their thing.
Right.
Like I said, I just me and Dave, we talked about this, or maybe we talked about it last week. You know, I really hope this man stays.
Yeah.
Because like what he's doing for the SWAC is crazy.
Right.
He is this. I'm just actually just proud. Like he's the model for how how do you take in all of the success you're having.
Right.
You know, teaching his players. You know, because even during the way, along the way, you're gonna have some hiccups.
Right.
You're gonna have some haters in the midst. You got people breaking into son's car. You got the rival team, making diss videos, which I'm like, yo, relax. You got people saying F him while he's walking on the field. And I'm like, yo, you could be competitive, but like also understand too, like, remember what this guy represents, yo.
Right.
Like, y'all wasn't getting no looks from the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said,
the only reason we're paying attention to your game,
is because of him. I said, so the fact that he's giving you a pipeline between something that can help change your life and your family's life. Yo, you got to put some respect on this man's name and just move respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, at the end of the day, like he ain't had to do that. Like you got game day coming. You got like people, getting NIL deals because now they're paying attention to the NFL. So it's like, yo, be respectful. And I think that's the other thing, even when I think about like just kids and stuff like that, because I know kids, we all been there. They feel like they got all the answers, but it's like, yo, you never know who you may need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's teaching the importance of relationships.
Yes.
And even these other coaches, I want them to kind of build onto what Prime is doing. Like, yeah, that's your competitor, but at the end of the day, like we all in this together because we're all it's like how do we build? Like, how do we build onto this momentum? And we could go deeper into our race. Like this
but
is
we always say,
stuff.
not to cut you off and not to even go this deep into the racial side. We always say, our worst enemies as far as race is ourselves.
Is us.
Because
we don't want to see each other do good. We don't build with each other.
And he said,
you know what I mean? You see the other person shining and you find some form of hate.
Right. And it's like
going on out there.
And there's no need for that when it's like, yo, this is to the benefit of everybody. And if you can't see that, it's like, I mean, even the fact of, yo, having these black coaches coming, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's the Dion effect, right? Like,
dude, we're from HBCUs, and before Dion getting there, we didn't talk about this stuff.
Heck no.
We didn't talk about that stuff.
Heck no. Like I said, I'm hoping that, like, I see, we starting with football. I'm hoping that one person, I don't know who it's going to be, but that one person had that basketball type of effect. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at least some of them are doing upsets in like the tournament. You see an upset here and there, so that's even on a different level than the football side.
True. Because go ahead.
To add to what you guys were saying, the fact that he's also empowering his players the right way after the situation that went down with Takeoff, man, and they were going down to Houston, and I followed him. He gave them the clips, and he said, he let them know he gave his his blessings and stuff like that as well. But he also said to them, and he said his point, he was like, why is it always us? You know what I'm saying? He said he told them at the time, at certain times you have to change your address. Meaning once you get to a certain status, man, I know everybody wants to, you hear the keeping it real, or what I'm saying, I ain't gonna forget where I came from and stuff like that. You don't have to forget. But at some point, you have to change your address, because if you continue to do things that can potentially destroy what you've built or compromise what you've built, it cannot go well. Yeah. And he says to his players, man, and it's it's not to take any shots at anybody. It's the truth.
Yeah,
it's the truth. And it was something. It was like what those rookie symposiums that they I guess they used to have, and I think they still have in the NFL. But I think a lot of stuff goes in one ear, one out the other. He's giving these guys all the game before they even make it to the league, and some of them we know is not going to make it to the league. Most of them won't.
Most of them won't.
But leaving out of Jackson State, they still leave it with a degree.
And get you ready for life.
Get you ready for life. Exactly.
But I think even he made a good point, and he was like, look, he said, man, maybe 5% of y'all will make it to the league. He said 95% of y'all not going to make it to the league. He said, but here's the difference. And this is why, like, y'all still got to move as if y'all are there. Because one, now we are Jackson State. Like we are, everybody's looking at us. So like now y'all have some notoriety and things in that nature. So you can't be moving and going out, like I'm exposing you to things that you have never been exposed to from all the celebrities that come to support you. And like y'all literally have celebrities walking y'all in like it's a prize fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing a song, some young cats. I mean, they've had people and I mean, that whole thing with Takeoff, unfortunately, he was on the money with that because they've had artists and they had an artist in their locker room that got killed. You know what I'm saying? And that's Young Dog. Young Dog. Yeah. And he was like somebody who was always at Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like he been down with them for a minute. So it's like they see first thing, like, yo, this is everything that Dion is saying is like, yo, you gotta move differently. You gotta carry yourself differently. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
when he brought old girl in there.
Yeah.
Brittany, I forgot her name.
Brittany Renner.
Yeah.
And everybody was talking like, why would he bring? Because he's setting them up.
Exactly.
This is reality.
Yes.
Y'all can look at it for the dumbness that people were saying on, why would he bring this type of? He's bringing it up because that shit is real.
And how many other places, I guarantee you, how many other places thinks outside the box like that and say, you know what, this is something that they really need to think about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is some game that they need to have, but nobody giving it to them. That's just like perfect example. Like if you look into the school system, like no disrespect, these kids are learning, and we even us, we learn all of these different subjects and stuff like that. Some of the stuff that we do not use to this day. You know what I'm saying? But what's the one thing that everybody should know that they do not teach like that, or it should be a subject, but it's not taught like that? Maybe if you're lucky in certain schools, you might
financial stability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like financial
education.
Financial literacy.
Literacy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's it's just like that in a sense of, yo, he's tapping into something, like especially for these kids that they're going to come about even in college. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be chicks and stuff in the DM. How do you
teach y'all calculus
that
you'll use unless you're in that profession?
Exactly. So I ain't gonna harp on this, but I'm just saying, man, again,
man, salute to them.
Shout out to that man, yo.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So from the college football world, most of those gentlemen, they hope to make it to the league to represent that shield or the team from themselves. So let's go right into our Thursday night recap, and we touched on it a little bit.
Make sure it's Thursday now. Make sure.
Yeah, Thursday. I dislike you so much. So a Thursday night game that wasn't as bad as the previous nights. I wouldn't say. It was pretty competitive, to say the least. If nothing else, the Houston Texans are going to make you work for it for a little bit. So there was the still undefeated Philadelphia Eagles playing against the Houston Texans, and with Philadelphia actually winning 29-17. But to be honest, that game was a lot closer. A different quarterback in Houston. I think we got a different result, perhaps.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll say this though. I mean, not to say that. I mean, still. I mean, what's his name? Still, David Stills or Stills?
Sims or something like that.
Yeah,
Whatever his name is.
Something with an S.
Yeah.
But he ain't played. He wasn't horrible. He just had some costly.
Davis
turnovers.
Mills. We
Mills,
messed that all up.
Mills,
There you go.
man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know where I get.
You threw 2 interceptions, bro.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the other thing too. Yo, a good 75% of their offense was Pierce.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to myself, I was like, damn, yo, they ran the ball crazy. So keep in mind, like, they actually did that without having their top 2 wide receivers on the field with Nico Collins and Cooks, because after Cooks, they were trying to trade him. They need to make that situation right. He ain't injured. He just like, yo, we need to work some stuff out, because that didn't work out, But they actually had the workhorse, Pierce, kind of running the show. I also looked at Philly and I said, as good as Philly is, their defense didn't play what they could, didn't play up to potential. Because the fact of the matter is, like, they let that man run for over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's partly because of it was a Thursday night game?
Traveling down to Houston.
But you know what? But here's the thing. This is what makes that even worse. Because they wasn't hardly throwing the ball. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yo, all they was doing was running. It wasn't like they was opening it up and it was like, yo, we got to defend. It was one person on Houston that was getting off, and I think his name was Moore. And I honestly think because they really didn't game plan for him and they didn't expect him, whistling Mills and to throw like that. But all they was doing was running.
The only reason I say I look at those games differently, and of course, both sides have to be prepared for it. So
right,
you're getting the same rest and stuff, so there's no excuse there. But from the fan side of me, yeah, I want to see football 24/7.
Right.
But from just the thought side of me, just looking out for these players, there's no way you play this game week after week, get killed on Sunday, and you're supposed to turn around and be ready for a Thursday night game. There's no way. There's no way you're fully prepared for it.
Yeah. Not at all.
I understand that, but I'm just saying in terms of in terms of their scouting, and prepping for this, and I'm not trying to come at the Houston Texans, but in terms of it wasn't really too much that they really had the game plan for. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you. No, I definitely got you.
Find a way. Stop the run.
That when I just think about it, I'm just like, man, you talking about you're trying to get a rest day in, then you got a travel day, then you get out there, get a practice or 2 in, and then boom, you're at the game. And I'm just like, how did this ever come in somebody's thought that this would be a good amount of days?
Well,
besides money, because we know it's money.
Well, yeah, it ain't never about the players. It's always about
it's all money,
about the money,
But I was just like, man, there's no way, bro.
But I mean,
that's why they always tell you when you see people sit out and stuff, and you see some of these players talking about, oh, well, he wasn't 100%. But if you go back to these analysts that used to be players, they're like, you're never 100%.
Right.
When the season starts after that scene, you're never 100%. It's just, it's not happening.
And the only people that's really sitting out is in the NBA, where you can rest them.
Oh man,
don't get me started.
That's a whole
Kawhi, keep it going.
So that being said, now I don't see Philadelphia going undefeated. They're gonna trip up. They're gonna reach another team there. But here's another question, and we don't know if it's gonna happen or not. Do they keep Lovie Smith at the end of the season?
No. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. Because this is what always happens. Say what you want. Houston got something to build off of.
They do.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I asked the question.
They actually got something to build off of. All they really need, their defense is pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? All they need is a couple receivers and then they need, and I would say, Mills and he ain't
They need a
the
quarterback.
guy,
They need
but
a
they need a
quarterback.
quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They only a couple, and I'm pretty sure they racked up. I
Then
forget
they'll
what
get
they
that
had.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, they racked up. They got draft picks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? For I think they good for the next 2 years at least.
Right.
So they gonna have something. But I'm gonna tell you, as soon as they're about to make that move, Lovey is gone.
Yeah.
They're gonna get that. They're gonna get that high caliber or that person that they think is going to be
Yeah. The supposed high caliber coach.
the
But he,
coach.
he was he was the token.
He was.
Yeah, no, he was like he was there to fix that situation,
Yep.
or to be there
Nope,
doing
not even to
it,
fix
not
it,
even fix it,
just to
to
hold
be
it
there,
steady.
He was a
hold
token.
it steady,
That's all it is.
and then
Put you in place.
and then after that, they're gonna come right in like they usually do.
Yep.
Guarantee it, and it's
Mhm.
probably gonna be some young person from or some
never
cat from
you've
college
never
that you
heard of
never heard
before.
of,
Yep.
that they like analytic wise, they like he has all the potential in the world, and then next thing you know, boom, he's gone.
This would be
Like
another
the
what's the name
enemy.
from Arizona?
Like the enemy,
The
like
enemy.
the crazy thing is like you ain't heard nothing from him in terms of like head coaching talk. Like if you ask me, he should be the one, but I doubt that's gonna happen. But we know. But like I said, I don't think that they're not that far away. As long as they keep that man, and I just hope too, like his agent is I'm talking about Pierce.
Yeah.
They better he better start talking about like show me the money soon, and then also too don't run that man into the ground.
Yeah, true. We're gonna see what happens with them guys, man. Like I said, they are definitely going to bring somebody else in with all that draft capital that they have. They're going to set somebody up, somebody along the lines of what they did in Arizona. Somebody who's going to be hey, we're going to get this quarterback in who needs a quarterback guru that he ain't been coaching no more than 3 days and this, that, and the other. Either that or somebody from the Shanahan tree. One of the two is going to happen. One of the two. That's the popular thing right now. It's a lot of Shanahanians running around the NFL right now.
Oh,
so
man.
I just made
I
that
don't
one up
even
on
like
the
that.
fly.
Woo!
So first he using big
Had to
words,
be
and now
one.
he
It had to
now
be
he
one.
making up words.
Yeah, I just made that one up just now. I just made that
Shanahan.
one up.
Copyrighted.
Right.
But hey, you know what? This ain't got nothing to do with football. Shout out to Dusty Baker, bro. Houston Astros. Ain't even about them. About Dusty Baker finally getting a chip. And he was another person.
Oh wait, so it's over. Everything is over.
It's over. Philly had that thing, and then Philly was. There was another situation where a team that was under a lot of I don't even know what you want to call it. There's a big cloud over, with the whole cheating thing and stuff like that in Houston. And they bring in Dusty Baker, they bring in the black coach to kind of steady things out, to instill accountability and this, that, and the other. And
Keep
he
it
ended
football.
up.
I don't even want to go.
He know what a chip, man. He know what a chip, man. But your
I'll
football.
I'll just say this real quick with that, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad Philly didn't win anything. Shout out to them. Yeah, I'm tired of that city. You know what I'm saying? With them, I love the city, but I don't like the sports part of the city. I love Philly though. No, I take that back. I love Philly.
Hey, shout out to all our Philly watchers, man.
I love Philly. I have a different affinity and love for Philly.
He does not speak for us,
especially for the music. Like everything out of Philly musically, I love. You know what I'm saying? I felt like low key. I wanted to go to Temple. I wanted to be from Philly. But I just, in terms of the sports part, nah, absolutely not. And I'm glad the Phillies lost. Now then, the other thing is too. Did y'all hear about that guy? He's called Mattress Mac.
Where? Oh, I think Mattress Warehouse. I don't know.
Nah, he won $75 million off of the Astros winning.
Wow. Wow.
So, but that was it. That's all.
All right.
So talking about the Philadelphia.
So of course, man, we are streaming live right now across Facebook Live, YouTube, our Twitch.tv channel, and yes, I may sound a little Barry Whitish this morning because it was a long night. But I'm keeping this going. It's early. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Maybe not because the clock the clock went back an hour. But I got this beer already because it was a great week.
Let me tell you how real this pod is.
Uh-huh.
This man sounds like Barry White.
Thanks.
I'm over here folding clothes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting no realer than this.
No, really than
Okay?
that.
You ain't getting no realer than this.
So let's talk about this right here. When I saw this, my ass was ecstatic.
All right, that ain't too big of a word, but go ahead.
So if you guys didn't see, and everybody saw this, so this week Forbes put out a story that one Daniel Snyder, not Dan, Daniel Snyder, his mama named him Daniel. He hired Bank of America to sell the Washington Commanders. Actually, Daniel Snyder has retained Bank of America securities to sell the Washington Commanders, sources tell Forbes, and it was legit. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up, this is Forbes. This ain't no troll on Twitter or nothing like that. So I digging deeper, and it started coming out fast and hurry. And then right after that, then the Washington Commanders put out a statement. And next thing I know, I was like, yo, this shit is happening. And if you've been watching, if you're listening to us for a while, yes. For a while, me and Dave, we were of the mindset that this wasn't going to happen because Daniel Snyder was willing to burn the whole goddamn NFL down. Well, I guess the NFL called his bluff. It's like, you know what? And we should have known when Jim Irsay stepped out there after the owners' meetings a couple of weeks ago and was like, shit, you can say what you want about me. My dirt is out there. That should have let you know right then that the NFL was like, do your worst, Dan. And sure enough, they up for sale.
Well, when when the government started putting some more pressure on them, because that's what I think that's what really evoked it a little bit or pushed it.
I think it was to the fact of when Irsay pretty much called him out, and I think he counted the votes and he could see he's about to get pushed out.
Right. So for some really good sources that I have, and this is legit. So apparently, and then it came out with an NFL Network report that says, well, they have the votes. They have the 24 votes to vote him out. The thing is, if they go that route, then everybody has to show their hand. You have to see, okay, who's voting him out, who's not. And what the NFL is trying to avoid is having a messy situation because, of course, you were talking about it, Earl, relationships. The NFL, there's relationships within this. For the longest time, Jerry Jones and Daniel Snyder have been pretty buddy since he's on the team. Hell, goddamn Dan, he looks up to Jerry Jones and his whole business acumen. But at the same time, he ain't Jerry Jones. So that being the case, if Jerry was one of the ones, hey, look, Dan, look, we cool, but I'm gonna have to vote you out. This could turn into the whole, like Dave was alluding to, the whole, okay, look, I'm about to tell on you. But then at this point now, do we want to do that? And it devalues the team if they go that route.
Well, let me tell you, I mean,
yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out because I think Jones is also in that boat of you seen some of his dirt come out.
It's all out there, bro.
So
he don't care.
He could be if I was Jones, and if he is one of those people that voted, because we don't know if he was one of the 24 teams.
Well, they haven't voted, but see, they
haven't voted.
Well,
you know how you kind of count,
yeah. I mean, we don't know that he's one of those 24, right?
Right.
But
I don't think he is.
and I don't think he is either. But if he is, I mean, and he's worried about backlash, I mean, take a chapter out of Eminem's book from 8 Mile. You know what I'm saying? What else you gonna say about it?
Right.
Yeah, what else you gonna say about it?
The thing with the NFL with this man, so they went to Dan, low key and say, hey man, just go ahead and sell. Because here's the thing, that first report that never saw the light of day, the NFL's like, look, man, we buried that report. We had her give a oral report, which was the most ignorant thing I've ever seen. So right. So none of this stuff got written down. So they buried the report. Though the details that were in that report probably would have been enough to get him out of there, but they buried that report. But now you got the oversight committee and everybody else. And NFL's like, look, man, this is about to be public at this point. Look, just go ahead and take your money. And to let you know, just like Jerry Jones came up when he bought the Cowboys, Daniel Snyder bought the then Washington Redskins back in 1999 for $750 million, which is still a hell of a lot of money. I ain't gonna lie to you. That team now is valued at $5.6 billion. We have been one of the worst teams in the league, attendance-wise, revenue-wise, and we've been in the bottom 5, at least bottom 8 record wise the last 15, 20 years, and they're still worth $5.6 billion.
They need to do a poll on not your attendance,
right,
but on the fact of the percentage of visitor attendance.
Yes,
at your stadium.
I would love to see that. I would love to
because
see
even
that.
even if it's packed, it's
Right.
not
It's
the
always a
Washington
home
fans.
It's always the visiting team's home game, yo.
It is.
Earl and I always feel at home when we
Yo,
go to a
always, bro. Always.
It is,
Always.
man. So I mean, and to keep it aside, the Denver Broncos who just sold, they sold for $4.6 billion. I know we were talking about, not to count their
That's
pockets,
wild.
but the Cowboys are worth over $8.5 billion. So Washington is going to be right in that, like we thought, $6 to $7 billion price mark. So with that, people have come out the woodworks, and as soon as they said it was up for sale, the first name that came to mind was none other than
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, the owner of
Jerry, that's perfect.
Oh
no,
this
that's
Kaleo.
Kaleo.
Yo,
Kaleo.
shout out to We Are
That
Something
is
Else, man. Dead ass
my
FedEx
God.
Feelers
You
and
know what?
Airbnb, yo.
That is true.
I'm making a meme
That
for that.
is true.
I'm making a meme
And,
for that
and
today.
they don't fix it up.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
It's
the black church. They have building funds and they don't fix nothing up.
That is definitely an Airbnb.
Yo, that was the best comment.
That's
Yo,
perfect.
that dead ass, bro. Dead ass. They got dead ass a Airbnb, man.
Holy shit.
So so just like that, man. So we've had people come out already, the people that they thought who's going to potentially try to buy this team. Jeff Bezos came out, so much so potentially a partnership between him and Jay-Z to purchase these Washington Commanders.
That would be interesting.
If you remember several episodes ago, Earl, and I said that I found this story. It was like buried deep in there. Potentially there was a person who used to work for Rock Nation who had kind of like have been working in and around Washington Commanders and who had ties to Jay-Z. And I was like, what if? And lo and behold, a year later, maybe that comes up, and it could be absolutely likely. Also a name who came up who I am for this. As much as I would love to see Jay-Z do it, he's going to be in a minority space. I would love to see Byron Allen purchase the team. I know he came in. He attempted with an ownership group for the majority stake to purchase the Denver Broncos, and then because they got beat out by the Waltons, some folks there. But I think for as much as the NFL has been going through or put themselves through the last few years with race relations and just good optics, to have the first majority
specifically there,
because if people don't know. There's a lot of black people who root for Washington, but people who don't know, Washington, the Washington Redskins, we were the last team. This is before my time, but we were the last team to integrate black players into the NFL. We were the last team. So much so that it actually affected the fan base at the time because a lot of the fans chose to go with the Cowboys way back then. This was back in the 1960s because the team who came then, they were a bunch of black players who were successful. Washington had a bunch of white players, and they didn't identify with what we know as Chocolate City. Of course, move on to the 80s and the 90s, Joe Gibbs era, which was our best era. But for the most part, it was Cowboys and other teams like that, Pittsburgh and along those takes. So we're going to see how this goes, man. I think this will be a good look, and I think you will get a lot of fan base back and a lot of the youth back because right now, a lot of the Washington fans are old. Like there's no real young Washington fan base. They're old. They're like my age and up for the most part. It's not like in New York where you got it doesn't matter what age, the Giants, I think in this case, for the most part, then the Jets to a lesser extent. Pittsburgh, Washington, a lot of those guys are, 20-some-year-old kids, 25-year-old career professionals. They don't know nothing about this Washington team. They don't know. They lock into TikTok and shit. All they know is our team sucks and we have the worst stadium in the damn league. And
the young ones are Ravens fans.
Yes, they know Lamar Jackson, shit like that. Yes, they are.
That is
they are, man. They are.
Or Rams.
Yeah, they know the splashier teams, man.
Yeah, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So with Jay-Z potentially being a suitor, right?
Right.
one, I guess my first question is that a conflict of interest? Like, would he have to get rid of Rock Nation?
No.
Okay. The second thing is, isn't that something that you want though? Because like Jay-Z, no, well, listen, Jay-Z being a part owner of the Washington Commanders, right? Bruh, you don't think that Washington would be a live ass team slash arena or just business? Like you don't.
No. Because
Why?
here's the thing. Because I'm not looking from that. I'm still looking for the standpoint I'm just looking for the standpoint of whether it's coaching wise, the actual community around it, and something like that. He's going to be another minority owner, even with his namesake. He's a minority owner in this case. How much pull does he really get out of that? Hell, Dwayne Wade is a part owner of the Utah Jazz. Usher is a part owner of the Atlanta Hawks. I think there's a few named entertainers and such who are minority owners, but are they really able to? And we said we'll be able
That's
to
where I
pay for
was
this.
going.
Right. So the new owner will be able to pay for
Mhm.
the stadium outright from what from what we read, because now Maryland,
The states
Virginia,
don't want to get
DC,
them money.
they're trying to give them no money because it's not profitable right now. They need somebody who's
Shoot,
going to have
we
that
in
bread.
debt as it is.
Right.
So,
Hell yeah. So they need
how
that
you come out
because
of COVID relief and now you want us?
right. Because you got, first of all, FedEx Field is a behemoth, big word for the day. It's a huge stadium. When it first came out, that stadium held the size of like a Michigan team or something like that. Would you say?
Yo, how y'all stadium that big, but your parking lot small as shit? The
That's
motherfuckers got to park in the
do
church.
y'all remember when
Hate that shit.
we started playing Madden back? Look at Madden 2000, 2001, and they used to announce the attendance at the bottom. At the time, FedEx Field at the time, and it was Jack Kent Cook
Slow
Stadium
down.
at
Take your
first.
time.
The total attendance was almost 100,000 at the time. And that's when they were coming, they was coming out of the 90s, going to 2000s and stuff like that. And then what they've done now is they remove seats and stuff like that. For one, to alleviate congestion, getting it in and around FedEx Field, because all of us have been there. Trying to get away from FedEx Field around there is hell. There's no metro, nothing like that. Two, when Fox is broadcasting your game and your game is looking like the Miami Hurricanes game, if anybody watched the Hurricanes game, Hard Rock Stadium was fucking embarrassing. It looked like a high school team. That's how FedEx Field look. So you can't have that on TV like that when those many empty seats. So someone like Jeff Bezos, who has all the money in the world, mind you, he still owns Amazon. For anybody thinking, he still owns them. He's no longer the CEO. There's two different things. Owner and CEO is two different people. CEO, all they do is they manage the day-to-day. Owner is the owner. And he also owns the Washington Post as well. Okay. So that, and I know one thing though, you can make, that'll be the most between him and Elon Musk, that'll be one of the most advanced stadiums you probably will see around there. I mean,
just that's what I'm saying. Like, just that alone is going to bring people to the stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then let's start there, because at the end of the day, like, you can be trash, but from their standpoint, it's about bringing people to the stadium. The second thing is too, yo, were there concerts and anything like that happening at FedEx Field?
Yeah, they still have concerts and everything. Unfortunately, Taylor Swift, she bypassed FedEx Field recently. She said she
the whole
wasn't
area.
doing it. Yeah, the whole area. She said she wasn't
But
doing it.
now my thing is like, so when there's an investment put into the stadium or whatever, I feel like just like MetLife, because like I mean MetLife is fine, but MetLife has all of this other stuff happening,
Right.
for revenue. So that's gonna bring revenue to the stadium. I think also as well, when you have somebody like a Jay-Z and things in that nature, right? You talking about somebody who's connected with Live Nation and things in that, he's gonna be bringing music tours and stuff like that through there and stuff, in that nature.
Right.
So I think business wise, I feel like it would be a good look for the city, regardless if it's still gonna be a home team for home game for most of these people. No, I mean that's true, Gary. That is true. But I mean, bro, that's the NFL, bro.
That's the
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
but you're
that's the
paying for the experience, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
that's the NFL. I mean, the Giants tickets is disrespectful. Even compared to the Jets tickets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And we're in swamplands. So I mean, that's just the NFL at this point. But I
Right.
think that if Jay-Z does partner up with him, granted he won't be a majority owner, but I think he'll have more than 1%. I think he'll have more than what he had with Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I still think that that's a good look, and he's going to find ways to bring people to that stadium.
Yeah, remember he's the person that they brought in
Yeah. For the
NFL wise
Brooklyn
for
Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at I don't know if y'all remember, but he made Brooklyn popping, like the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, that stadium is straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they left Jersey and came over here, I mean, all of the amenities and even in that area, like that downtown area, how that expanded and how that got gentrified and stuff like that. Like I said, those are good and bad things, but he brought value to that area. So I could see him if he does partner doing like the same kind of thing.
It's gonna be interesting to see. Either way, it's a win. Either way, because Dan Snyder is selling the damn team at the end of the day. Yeah, true. They will, if nothing else, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, they don't have the same conditions as Amazon because that's suspect out there as well. But no matter which way they go, I still think Byron Allen would be a really good choice. But if they don't, you have to have to your point, a prominent minority owner. It just can't be somebody that it's going to be like sit on the side. You need somebody who would be a face out there, if nothing else. So
what about not even Byron Allen? What about the other brother, Robert? What's his name? The billionaire, the one that he donated, he paid for I think Morehouse's
I forgot who you're talking about.
But you know what I'm talking about,
yeah.
right?
Now here's the thing with the Bezos thing. Most of these billionaire owners, before we move on to the part we all look for, the standard picks, most of those owners, they all typically have the same type of wealth, fortune. When you start bringing in somebody like a Jeff Bezos, who his fortune overwhelms everybody else's, then now you start looking at a power dynamic. So right now, the two big players in the NFL as far as ownership is the Rooneys in Pittsburgh and Jerry Jones in Dallas. Those are like the two guys, the two head guys. Then after that, you have like a Ursay. Then you have a Robert Kraft. We were talking about last week when Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones got into it, and I think Jerry, if you said Dave, Jerry threatened to lay hands or something like that on Robert Kraft, they got into it because you talking about, so Robert Kraft, while he's on the Patriots, he hasn't been around as long as Jerry. Jerry, Jerry got his from the mud, for lack of better terms. So is it certain? And then all these other newer owners, they haven't ingratiated themselves to the rest of the crew.
Okay, big word.
So when you look at somebody like Jeff Bezos, is like, bruh, my fortune is above all of y'all. How does that conversation look when it comes down to negotiating your commissioners, bonuses and salary like that? So that might be a power struggle type thing. So, because remember, you can't just go in and buy an NFL team. That committee has to vote on you actually buying, which means that they have to bring in somebody that they believe, in my opinion, that they can kind of add value
and they
and
can actually
control. There you go. Puppet like. Exactly. If Jeff owns the Washington Post and Amazon, come on, man. Like, and pockets is deep as hell. I saw a story. They were saying that Elon Musk was a potential bidder. Ain't nobody in the hell is gonna allow him to buy an NFL team. Because first of all, he could potentially buy out all the other owners. Not that he can do it, but see what I'm saying? He can buy everything else, the amount of capital that he has. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be interesting. I don't see nothing happening before the Super Bowl. I'll be surprised if it does. But sure enough, Washington, they're getting a new owner. And it's going to be interesting to see. All I know is make it a dome, which I think it will be, because I think they won a Super Bowl in DC. Bring back a cigar bar, and we in there. That's what I'm for. That's what I'm for, man. And coach, we appreciate you guys waking up to the pregame with the Hot Seat Podcast presents football talk. Anything else we got for it in? Trades. There's a couple trades that happened this week. And some people on them. I think Dave has them up. And we don't have to go through all of them, but give me your most surprising trade that just happened.
That the Giants didn't make nothing.
Okay.
You know what? If we're doing surprising, hold on. If we're doing surprising though, Gary knows where I'm going.
Yeah,
how do you do a interdivisional trade and let TJ Hawkinson go to the Vikings if you're the Lions? How do you let that happen?
Talk about it.
I don't know.
That's a surprising. You normally don't see that. Yeah, let's go trade one of our stars to our opponent.
And he's excited. He's gonna start winning.
Let me send you on over there, one of our stars, and we're gonna see you two times a year, every single year. Like, you don't let that happen.
All pro tight end at that. I don't get it.
That was a very surprising trade for me. Yeah,
it's the trade that surprised me. Well, it surprised me because I didn't know they could actually do the trade, considering.
Oh, I know where you're going.
The Calvin Ridley trade from Atlanta to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell did that happen?
Yes.
But if you look at the trade itself, though, the trade is literally like yo, shout out to Kaleo, man, with the comments today, bro. Like, that's like when your ex started dating your homie, you bring her to your surprise 38th birthday party. Tell about the trade.
Yeah, that's funny.
The Calvin Ridley trade, man, from Atlanta to Jacksonville. Of course, the suspended wide receiver who put a parlay in on some games. But did you look at the trade itself? The trade is not the simplest trade. So the trade starts off.
They need him to get signed for them to get the most out of that pick.
Yeah. So if he gets, ultimately, it can go from as far as him going from a 5th round conditional pick to then if he meets playing time, escalators can go up to a 4th pick to a 3rd round pick. If he does get signed to extension by Atlanta, it can be a 2nd round pick overall. So it's a win-win for Jacksonville because Jacksonville really has nothing to lose. And for Atlanta, they can potentially gain a 2nd round pick. At least they'll get a 5th rounder out of the situation. But the fact that he got traded on his day off, taking his turn from Friday. Yeah. Like how did that happen? Yeah.
I think a great trade for the 49ers was that Christian McCaffrey one. I think that changes their season and their outlook.
It does, man. It does. Yeah, I know fantasy owners everywhere was like, yes, get his ass out of Carolina. Dear Lord. And he showed what he had, the first player, I forgot how long, to have a passing touchdown, rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown in one game, I believe it was. Yeah, last week it was, which was pretty dope. Some other a quietly good trade that I thought was the Roquan Smith trade from the Bears to the Ravens.
That was a very good trade.
They needed linebacker help, absolutely. That defensive help. I mean, I know up in my area, they're talking about people. Why didn't get him receivers? Look, man, the Ravens are a running team. Be who you are. Play defense, run the ball, let your all-world quarterback, do what he need to do at times. Don't try to, reshape the world and one time. Be who you are. Be who you are. The Kadarius Toney trade. I know you guys, it happened.
Well, I'll tell you what, I told you I got the grade sheet up for the trades.
Right.
And ours was the only trade that both sides got an A on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking about before.
They got a cheap man's Tyreek Hill, and we got rid of it. We got some picks.
Yep.
And got rid of a headache. So
and all that, and the Green Bay Packers ain't get shit. Everybody was like,
well, I don't know. You know what? Let's go there.
All right,
real quick, because that's one of my things that I pulled up.
Go ahead.
So in case you didn't know, for the Packers, they were trying to make moves. It wasn't that they weren't out there.
True.
They were definitely trying to make moves. And out of their top 3 moves that they were trying to make, only one of those people got traded. And that was Chase Claypool.
I thought they were trying to get him.
Yeah, the other 2 people, though, that they were trying to get was DJ Moore They're trying hard for him. And then also, which I didn't know about until I read this article, and I'll send it to you, Shawn, Darren Waller.
Yes.
I didn't know that they were trying to
Raiders.
go out to get him, which would have
Right.
been something.
Yes.
So
I'm pretty sure he does not feel like being in
He'd have been like
Vegas right now.
What's my man that they tight end that used to be there? He went to Chicago.
Oh, you talking about Martellus Bennett?
Nah.
No.
Light
Which was
used to be where at in Green Bay?
Mm-hmm. Then the last team I saw he was with was the Bears. I think maybe last year or a year before that. He old though.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who you're thinking about. I'm not sure. In any case, man, I didn't see any other trades that was made. Of course, Washington didn't make any trades, which they didn't really need to.
Pretty sure he probably talking about the dude that used to play for Seattle and New Orleans.
Damn, I know who you talk about too. Not Evan Ingram. It was I forgot the brother's name. And I'll think about it at some point. But I know you're talking about Earl. Is he still in the league? Yeah,
I don't know if he's still in the league. That's a good question.
Yeah, the last place he played was, I think, in Chicago, right? I think that was the last team he did play in. I can't remember his name right, but I know exactly who you talked about. But yeah, that was the only trade. I mean, Eric, what was your take on the Roquan Smith trade, man?
I'm still in the bed. I'm coming from Malik's house now. Y'all know I live in the country, but ask Dave, Malik in the country. So I'm coming from his house. So I'm hearing y'all on and off. So I'm gonna wait. I'm heading home now. So I should be home in like the next 10 minutes.
Well, hold on. Here it is. Malik, is this your first time at Malik's house? He finally let you over there?
Yeah, this is the first time that he probably let me. Matter he listening to this right now because he was listening when I pulled away from his spot. But yeah, he finally let me come over.
No, Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham.
There you go, Jimmy Graham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he just once he left Seattle.
Yeah, real quick, hey, Earl. He let me come over, but I ain't get nowhere but just his outside of his garage. I didn't get anywhere outside of the I wasn't in the house. I was only in the garage.
Look, baby.
A detached garage.
Baby steps,
right. A detached garage. Yeah. So it wasn't even a part of the house.
Yeah,
Eric, how did that game make you feel, man? I ain't you want you active, bro. Your Vols, man. What happened yesterday?
I hear you talking about my balls, but like I said, it's choppy. So give me about 10 minutes.
Okay. I thought
he just told you he was in the country.
I know. I thought it was gonna be one of the ones who was like, I thought it was one of those ones gonna be like, I'm good right now. As soon as I asked about the Vols, I said, I can't hear you, man. My signal breaking up. I can't.
You see how came in? You see how that was though?
Oh shoot.
So does any of these trades that were made, which one is gonna have the most impact, you think, for the team that got them?
Miami made out.
It's Miami. Yeah, they're all in.
Made out.
They're all in.
Miami made out. I think they got their They just added to the defense with Chubbs.
Right.
They picked up somebody. It was somebody else they had. They got Fisher from 49ers, which I think is dope.
Right.
Because they actually needed. I think he upgrades their run game because he was actually efficient. And then I want to say it was one more person, or that they got rid of somebody, or I thought it was somebody else, but I think they made out the best.
So here's my question though. Do they, because he's not a free agent until 2025?
Who?
Tua.
Oh.
If I had to, when he's on the field, okay. But that's the big question. For everything they've done in Miami, all the weapons with Tyreek, they brought in Bradley Chubb. They got, the team is ready. But they're one question mark, and I will debate anybody else all day on this. Is their quarterback? Not for a talent purpose, it's health-wise.
I think, well, let me tell you something. This is one of my main reasons why I'm gonna tell you they're gonna sign Tua. Because I feel like if they don't sign Tua, Tua's gonna hit them with an ill-ass lawsuit at some point.
You talking about that's
interesting. Oh, they ain't forget.
Oh yeah,
I think they've already locked in the fact that Tua is going to get re-signed.
Yeah.
Not only because of that, but because just all that they put it. This is where you go all out. That's what Miami is doing. They're sitting back saying money is not a thing. This is it. This is the first time we've been even in the talk of any type of contenders in this type of sense. Just throw it all out there. And we know that he can perform when healthy with these people around him. So he's already shown that. So that he's gonna get resigned.
But I will also say, like, put some respect on his name. Like, yo, he's been hooping. He's been
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah.
You know, we always like to throw basketball terms on anything and everything.
No, I know.
I'm not great in school. Yo, he's hooping, yo.
I'm not taking anything away from the brother, man. Not taking anything away from the brother. But the health thing is always an issue.
Oh,
so
you know, I'm the person that always says the greatest ability is availability.
Right.
But what else
we,
you gonna do?
Yeah, because I mean, no, absolutely. Because we've seen teams that go all in, and then something happens to the quarterback or that main player, and then it completely derails their season. You know, not everybody has is fortunate enough to be the Rams, where you load it up now because now you see what the Rams are now. The Rams now are yikes, but they got that chip. They got that chip.
But the question for you, Shawn, since you asked that question, is. What
Shawn.
would they be able to do?
That's the thing.
They're not going to have a losing record where they get a high pick for a QB.
That's the thing.
No one's going to straight trade up QB for them.
Right.
You know, and if you're giving them away because of injuries, nobody's giving you nothing back big time.
True.
And you just surrounded him with all these people.
Right.
You already cashed in.
Right. So do you build? So here's my question: Do you do something along the lines of? This is my opinion. Along the lines of a Philly, you had Carson Wentz, and you had your backup. You had a Nick Foles type. You have a guy who could potentially step in, be a veteran, and lead your squad if something was to happen to Tua. Because if you don't, what happens is because those bills will come due at some point. If he does get injured or something like that,
but he'll still get paid.
He'll still get paid. But their ultimate goal right now, the goal for Miami right now is for them to win a Super Bowl. That's what they're trying to get. Unfortunately,
if they learn, they'll actually honestly pay him early before his contract is up.
They should,
so they can learn from
like
the Ravens waiting too late and now
Well, we'll say, think about it like this: they just gave Chubbs $100 million.
Stop saying Chubbs, man. Stop saying Chubbs.
That's his name.
It's Bradley Chubb.
My bad.
Yeah.
They just gave Chubb, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
They gave him 119.
Right.
Remember, Tyreek got over 100.
Right.
And then
Waddle's gonna want some money.
Waddle's gonna have to get paid.
Right.
And then they're gonna have to think about Tua. And then I'm pretty sure Gretzky. What's the tight end? What's the tight end? Gesicki. He's gonna command a little bit of bread.
I don't think they're gonna keep Gesicki though.
I think he was in the trade talks this year.
Yeah, he was. They're gonna move him. Yeah, they're gonna move him at some point. Maybe in the offseason, but I don't think they're going to.
because they said part of that trade talk was actually us looking at Gesicki because of the injury to our rookie tight end.
Right.
But then they saw that our rookie tight end his eye injury, he'll be back, by the end of the season. So they're like, no, they weren't moving.
So I'm gonna give you a number, and you tell me is this what this is we're just looking at numbers. So this is a site, spottrack.com. So it gives you like salary stuff. It's really cool. Yeah. And it gives you the market value for like players. So the market value on one Tua, don't even try to give me his last name, so I'm just calling him Tua. Would be a 6-year deal at about $226 million.
How much guaranteed?
It doesn't give you the guaranteed amount. That's the part I was looking for. It doesn't give me the guaranteed rate. Give me an average salary about $37 million. But is he a $200+ million quarterback?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I guess
for the QB.
Bro.
Yeah.
Think about
Kyler Murray at 200? Should be at 200?
I guess what the market says, that's what the market says.
Yeah, it's the market.
That's what the market says. I guess you're gonna see, man. I guess like this is my only thing. Like they're going all in, but they're going all in at a time where on paper they should win. But what our eyes tell us is you still got to go up against them guys up in Buffalo and them guys out in Kansas City. Those are the two, and those are some big hills to climb for this Miami team who haven't won nothing since Dan Marino, and even then they only won playoff games. That was it.
I'm about to say Marino.
Yeah, they ain't won no championships since what? Yeah, they ain't won no championships since what? 1972 undefeated season, I believe it was. I may be wrong. Hell, they lost to my Washington Redskins back in the day.
Look at you plugging.
Right.
Look at you.
Right. I'm excited because that motherfucker is actually finally selling the team. I'm just looking, man. Like I've seen all the moves they're making. It just lines up to be something to where I hope the brother. I really hope the brother stays healthy, especially with everything he's been through. But at the same time, they're going to need a backup plan. And Mike McDaniel, he's cut from the same cloth as Kyle Shanahan out of San Francisco. I'm pretty sure. Like they got Jimmy G, and then they looking for somebody. They looking for something.
The draft his brother in a couple of years.
True. Now
that would be interesting.
That's fun. I just thought of something just now. So they renegotiated Jimmy Garoppolo's contract in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
San Fran is going to need another quarterback. And I was just talking about the fact that you need some type of savvy veteran to play behind Tua just in case.
Mm-hmm.
What's the likelihood? Because, relationships, Earl, that's what you said.
That would be crazy.
What's the likelihood that they end up trading Jimmy to Miami in the offseason? Because
that would be a bad
San Francisco, right? Yeah, because right.
That would be a very
looking at
bad
the injury
setup.
situation, man. Look at the injury
I
situation.
hear
you. Yeah, that's just one that it makes sense. Because the brother got to stay healthy, man.
If they believe in him in any way and they bring somebody like that,
yeah,
the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, and God forbid they get to the playoffs and they have a letdown where he doesn't play well with all that he has around him. Then those whispers get really loud, man.
Honestly, I don't know if that could happen anyway because of the money that Jimmy would be commanding with all the money that they got out there.
Well, here's the thing, Jimmy's contract is like 6.5 now.
No, right now.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to get another big contract like that though. He ain't got Kirk Cousins. He ain't got Kirk Cousins.
No. I don't think it'll go that crazy, but he's definitely not going to get backup pay. I don't think he's going to get backup pay.
True.
Oh, who you talking about?
Jimmy Garoppolo. If he went somewhere, I don't think he's going to, because even on this contract, the incentives is what's the big thing for the Jimmy contract. How much he plays,
right?
How much they win. He's getting like $1 million per win, something like that. So you don't know what his contract is. And I think if he's smart, he'll kind of set it up in that way.
Yep. But
especially
at the same time,
going behind somebody like a Tua. Like, okay, well, you can give me this contract that if I play and if I saw. At
the same time, though, who does Mike McDaniel know better? He knows Jimmy much better. Hey, Jimmy, look, I can't guarantee it though, but look, the system. You're coming out here.
See what Kaleo said?
What he got on here?
Yeah, I mean, who they got?
They got PJ Walker. They got PJ Walker.
We'll see.
They got. They had a quarterback on their roster.
He had that throw, and we would have been talking about that throw. Somebody.
Yep. If DJ Moore ain't just act like a whole idiot out there, yeah, so true.
I think that killed his trade value. The Giants were looking at him.
Oh my god! Because I think they wanted two number ones.
Oh, dumbass!
They wanted 2 number ones. Or what if?
Nah, we good.
Yeah. If nothing else, he can end up in a plethora of spots. So, but I think that might, I'm gonna mark this. I'm gonna put a pin in this one because I'm gonna see how this goes. All right, you with us now? You with us now? I see him.
Yeah, I'm with y'all now.
All right. So I was waiting for you. I need we make our way back. The volunteers. How was that game, man? What was you feeling, brother?
Fuck them.
I mean, I feel as though we straight just didn't show up. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say that they weren't ready to play because, I mean, we came in ranked the number 1 team in the country. So, I mean, off of that alone, you came in ready to play.
Right.
We just came in and we met a team that was just better than us. I mean, up and down across the board. I mean, they were just better. They were what we want to be. Kind of honestly, I mean, I thought it was a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of an overreach by having us at 1 in the first place. I thought it was a little disrespectful to Georgia, and I
That's what I
think it's
said.
what kind of gave Georgia that additional
Bulletin board
motivation.
material. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't be like the defending champion and then like how in the world you put two teams above them? Like Georgia came in at number 3, like but they
Yeah,
hadn't lost
Mississippi.
any games this whole season. So what was it that constituted for Georgia to be ranked number 3 in the first place? I think that gave Georgia a little extra to be like, so so they just pretty much saying, the hell with us. So and they came in there and they played like they the defending national champions. But that's what you expect. That's what you want them to come in there and look like. So I mean, I'm not mad at that. I mean, if we lose to a team in this Georgia, I'm not mad at that.
Absolutely. See, yeah, he echoed my same sentiments. Going from that to the trade, I was listening to a lot of the sports talk radio around Baltimore. How'd you feel about the Roquan Smith trade?
I'm down. I'm all about it. I'm all about it because, like I said, our defense has been our weak. I mean, we talked about this before. Well, I said there and said I think just the last week. Well, I said that Ravens fans got to come to, the realization that we're not the defensive Ravens anymore. We're now the offensive Ravens.
Right.
Where we can outscore people. So now this only makes us better as far as now. Granted, our secondary still is what it is.
Yeah.
But at least this gives us another person, in the linebacker core to try to at least stop. Right, apply pressure and at least stop people. We don't have that Ray Lewis type person, that Terrell Suggs person that once Ray was gone, we had Terrell. We don't have that on defense. There's not that person that's there as a defensive captain to sit there and say, boom, this is what we're going to do. This is who we are. Like nobody's taking that mantle.
The crazy thing with y'all though, I don't really feel like I don't think it is y'all personnel. I feel like it's your D coordinator, yo. Even with Roquan over there, like I still feel like y'all gonna be the same situation, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause at the end of the day, one of y'all biggest y'all are not a fourth quarter team. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, we talked about this. And I'm like, I feel like a lot of that goes into your coaching. I think y'all actually have a pretty decent personnel. I think your schemes and how y'all utilizing the personnel is just is wasteful.
They also have a lot of they also have a lot of injuries though. I will say this, that the injuries is whenever you see a team that has a bunch of injuries every year, I start asking the question, who is your strength and conditioning folks? Like every year,
see, Eric and I discussed this offline.
Oh my God.
You pick up Roquan Smith and then all of a sudden now Bateman's gone.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Yep.
So
going for the year.
It's the give and take, yeah.
Right. I know, and a lot of that comes, from preparation and stuff, but sometimes some of these guys who has these, you have those lingering hamstring injuries and stuff like that, high ankle sprain. High ankle sprain ain't nothing more than the Achilles waiting to happen. Talk to Kevin Durant. But if they don't treat them the right way.
I mean, but look at him now. I mean, he malnourished. So,
but oh my God! But at the same time, like I said, when these guys, they're rushing them back in certain cases, or they're not diagnosing them the right way, and you end up getting this thing that lingers on and on and on and on. And again, to your point, now you got Bateman out for the season. Now he's out for the season. And then what? You lost what? You lost J.K. Dobbins again for at least 6 weeks, I think it said, Eric. The running back for another minor surgery or something like that. So, back here last year, the Baltimore Ravens had the most injuries in the league. I think they had 22, 23, something like that. You can really field offense and defense with the amount of injuries that they had last season. Mm-hmm. So you got to start asking questions like, hey man, what are y'all doing? Like, what are we doing for our guys out here? But
what are we doing for our guys?
Yeah, so But yeah, of course, because you guys waking up to the pregame with the Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk. So we'll get right into it. The thing that we know you guys are looking forward to, you come to expect each and every week, is which our weekly picks himself. So let's go ahead and
you can't talk today.
I can't, man. I can't. I'm excited. I'm sorry, man. Shut your face, buddy. So last week 8, our standings last week. So with Dave and Eric,
okay,
we'll come in at 10-5. Eric has been closing the gap on me the entire time. He's within a
Eric
game
coming.
of the third spot in there. Dave picked up a game on Earl. It was a good week overall, though. But yeah, Eric has been in his bag for the last couple of weeks. I think he went 11-3 last week, I believe it was, and 10-5 this week. So he's making his way. He's well over 500 now. And then our last week we listened to picks with Gary
man,
coming in
at
as a modest
up, man.
8-7, man. 8-7. Last week was some surprising. Any games last week that surprised y'all? Like from the wins, I mean, that you didn't expect to see at all? No. And
my fault, guys.
Oh man. Fault. But let's get all right into it. And of course, man, before I go into our picks, man, if you guys haven't already, make sure that you are following us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. And right now we are in season 7 of the Hot Seat Podcast, streaming on all of your podcast platforms. Episode 93 with our guest on there, Derek A. Brooks, was on this last week. Make sure you tap in wherever you get your favorite podcast show.
Just to let you know before you start that up and to answer your question in a way, that's how Eric came back with those picks, those one-offs.
Yeah.
He had the Broncos over the Jags.
Yep.
He had the Pats over the Jets.
Yeah.
I think the only one he didn't get was the Cards over the Vikings. So
hey, look, Bill Belichick is like, fuck what y'all talking about. Look, I'm gonna make something out of this because I thought they were dead in the water, and sure enough, he was like, watch this real quick. Watch this.
I mean, Shawn, you would have had one more better if DJ Moore didn't take off the helmet.
Man, I was so mad about. I was like,
you're the only one that picked them.
I'm like, bruh, what the hell? Then that happened. I was like, seriously, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing now, huh? Son of a boy. Shout out to DraftKings who still ain't let me back into the league yet.
Wow.
I'm having to send them like my third born and stuff like that just to validate my account because I try to access it out of the country, and then have Dave try to, put my stuff in.
No. I don't know what they're talking about.
I was trying to be part of the league, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. It's horrible.
See that inclusion shit?
I
don't know.
Oh my God, man. About. I've been a loyal DraftKings fan and user for the last, I don't know how many years. And this is how y'all treat me? This is rough. But I'm down in Virginia right now, so I can use FanDuel. I can bet, so that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it.
Did you Did you bet on FanDuel yet?
I've done it before. Oh, you mean this week? No.
Have you ever set up a bet on FanDuel?
Yeah. A while ago. Yeah. All right. No, yeah, I know. I
did. No, because I'm about to say get you and me money. Shit.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did a while ago. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get it, man. Chargers at Falcons. The Falcons are annoying because they keep winning games they ain't supposed to win.
They really are, yo. They really are, yo.
That game last week, the Panthers should have had. They just
Earl trying to get that commission.
I am. I got a problem.
I got the Chargers this week, man.
I got the Chargers too.
Go on and give me the Chargers.
Damn it! Come on, Earl.
Brandon Staley, don't mess this up, bro.
I'm not going first in front of him all the time.
We go in order.
Gary,
I'm taking the Falcons.
You got the Falcons?
Falcons?
Okay. Malik and Gary got the Falcons.
Oh,
you got Chargers. Okay, gotcha.
Malik, Gary got the Falcons.
I know. See, Malik, the Falcons going to lose because look how he spelled the Falcons.
He said Flaccones.
Yeah.
Flaccones. You got the Flaccones. Dolphins at Bears. All the shit I just talked about, too. They better win this goddamn game, which they will. I got Dolphins.
Dave.
Oh, that's how you doing it?
Yo,
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Hey, you already know. Everybody picking Miami, man.
Justin Fields though is nice though, bro. He's nice.
Yo, stop.
No, I'm saying that he's definitely the better quarterback than over Trey Lance.
Stop, bro.
Definitely.
Well, we don't know because Trey Lance don't play, so he
all right.
I got the Dolphins.
Why you ain't say that with some confidence, brother?
I need different picks than you. All right, let's go.
We got Panthers at Bengals.
Now, see, this is a frustrating one.
It is.
This is a first. Is Chase playing?
No.
I don't think he's playing.
Chase is out for
Yeah, for a minute.
Yeah, he's out for like a month, I think. Something like
I
that.
agree the Bengals.
All right.
I got Panthers, bro. I'm gonna ride with the Panthers this week.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals still don't know how to protect their quarterback.
You got her.
This the game me and you gonna split.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I've written down all of my picks besides 2 games. So
Is this one of them?
no. I picked this one already.
Yeah, Chase out 4 to 6 weeks. He's out for a minute.
Who you got?
Now, give me a second. Give me a second. Frustrating me. Yeah, their offensive line is trash though. But they playing at home. And they got that black kid from Jersey starting again. I'm gonna go with the Bengals only because they at home.
I got the Bengals.
So we got both Malik and Gary on the Panthers. Gary said, "Come on, Earl. The schedule's made back in the summer, man."
Nah, but their teams doesn't looking like that. Their teams look different.
True. Packers at Lions.
I'm going with the Lions, bro.
That's what I'm going with because the Packers, the
I don't
Lions can
believe in the
score.
Packers, bro.
The Lions can score. Just their defense, fucking frustrating. But the Packers have a pretty decent defense. But I got the Lions this week.
There you go, Dave.
I got the Lions this week.
Okay. I got the Lions.
Who you got, Eric?
I'm gonna go with the Packers.
What they got?
Gary said everyone does the same side, picks the Lions. Look,
Malik said Lions, unfortunately.
Thank you,
How
my
you
brother.
doing through text?
Yeah.
Through comment.
Look, Malik got the Lions too. Thank you, my brother. We together in this. Like we look.
So I'm guessing Gary is doing the Lions.
Yeah, he doing Lions too. I hope the Packers don't rescind our minor ownership and be like, you know what? y'all can't be here with us no more. I'm just saying.
And they was giving that out. How much I paid for that? $10?
Shit, hell no. I would have had more shares than that. No, definitely not. Definitely not. $10. Raiders at Jags. Oh, struggle game, bro. This is a struggle game. This is a struggle game.
I'm going with shit. Who the Raiders play last week?
I don't even remember. It didn't really matter.
No, it didn't.
Raiders played the Saints last week in the Saints one.
Yeah,
I know they smacked the shit out of them.
they did. I don't know what's happening, bro.
Yeah,
Josh
I'm going with the Raiders.
All right. I'll do this one first. I got the Jags.
That's
Same
what
here.
I was gonna go with.
Damn.
I got the Jags as well, man. I feel like Trevor Lawrence can't have another bad day. Maybe he will. I don't know.
No, I'm not even putting it on Trevor Lawrence. I'm putting it on Etienne or whatever his name is.
Yes,
because he's
yes.
been running out there.
He has been. Maybe they found the formula.
He been
This case.
snapping.
Yep. Definitely get out of his own way. I don't know what he be seeing, bro. I don't know. Ain't no pressure. You in Jacksonville. Ain't nobody watching your game. So you should be able to ball out. I don't understand it.
Malik went Raiders.
I don't understand it. I really don't. Let's see what we got. Next, we have up. Colts at Pats. I got the Pats in this, man. Bill Belichick was like, I'll be damned if I have another bad season while Tom Brady has a bad season too. I got the Pats.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones, Earl, that I didn't pick.
They keeping this afloat somehow.
Did the Colts win last week?
Nah, they lost to Washington.
Oh no, I'm going Pats.
And they traded Naeem Hines too, though. So
To the Colts.
no, the Colts. No, the Colts got.
Oh, they
Naeem
traded
Hines to
him
Buffalo.
to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking the Pats only because I think the Colts running back is still out. Shoot, what's his name?
You talking
Jonathan
about
Taylor.
Oh,
Jonathan
Taylor not
Taylor.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stevenson been snapping too. So
If he was there, I probably would have picked the Colts. What we got going? Patriots. Oh, they both got Pats. All right.
Yep.
we got to pick on this
Clean
one.
sweep.
Bills at Jets.
I got
I got the
Bills.
Jets. I got the Jets.
Cool.
Okay, that's why you in third place. Give me the Bills, please.
Okay. I got the Jets.
Mhm.
Now you
It's
being
game.
Back to you
disrespectful.
taking the Bills.
Yeah, now you being disrespectful, bro.
Yeah, look, man. I'm just looking at what I see.
Yep. Well, right there, Eric's catching. Shawn.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Exactly.
Eric, you are officially in third place.
I'm gonna make sure I screenshot this right here just in case. Be like, hey,
All right,
I screenshot that.
Play that as a snippet.
Yep.
bro. Let me tell you something because you already picked. So they running back is injured. So
I know.
Carter's probably going to be the one running.
Mhm.
Eric said, "Be quiet."
All right,
I
I
know.
picked already.
I'm speaking for him.
Nope. I got the Jets this week. Nope.
Picked already.
I know.
Okay. What we got? Bills, Malik.
Shit. So, excuse me, I'm better than that.
So what we got? Bills, all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, Vikings at Commanders.
Yo,
I got Washington this week, man.
ain't y'all like 3 wins in a row?
Yeah.
4.
Four.
I think it's
No,
four,
it's three in a row.
Oh, three?
We 4-4.
Oh, okay.
This
So I
is,
got the Vikings.
Kirk is
Hey, I got the Vikings too.
Kirk Cousins
Same.
is back at FedEx Field.
Go get your sneakers.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins back at FedEx Field. They riding a high. I got Washington.
Vikings by 13. He put goddamn that.
All right, so he disrespectful.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, he is.
Uh,
They're gonna make this an ugly game. It's gonna be one of them boring ass games, but I think Washington comes out to win this game. Comments. There we go. Doing too much at one time. Seahawks at Cardinals. I believe in Geno.
This is another one I didn't pick.
Seattle. Come here. We got Seattle.
All right.
Damn, Geno Smith. And he got like the fifth. I think he's like the 5th ranked quarterback with QBR in the league.
I'll go with
season.
Geno.
All right, I'm Seahawks, bro.
Goddamn, Geno.
give me one off.
All right.
What they got out there?
Malik Gary.
What y'all got, Malik and Gary? Gary, he's like there's a
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Gary got Seahawks.
All right.
Rams at Buccaneers. Sheesh.
I got the Rams.
This is such a bad game.
Neither.
You got who?
He said neither.
That's how I feel.
Shoot.
That's how I feel. I got Tampa in this game.
All right.
I got Tampa. Only because Tom is the more healthier quarterback between the two. Shit. That's all I got.
You got Earl.
Schedule's made in the summer.
I'm taking Tampa Bay by default.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Malik and Gary both got the Bucks on
I
this.
think, yeah, I just think the Bucks are coming in with too many injuries.
Sunday night game. Titans at Chiefs.
Got the Chiefs.
Yep.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yep. See they give Kadarius Toney any run tonight. Oh yeah, because neither one of them contended this year, Gary. Neither one of them. Gary got Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Eric, who you got?
Kansas City.
All right.
I just want to go to Kansas City to get some barbecue. I ain't gonna lie to you. My fat boy move.
That's the fattest shit I heard, bro.
Man, I'm sure as hell give me some barbecue on the VA right now. Yes, sir.
Okay, Malik. I see.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill still their quarterback though. I can
Nah, Tannehill probably ain't gonna play.
Yes, right. No, you got Malik Willis. Not bad.
And he's not it.
Ravens at Saints for our Monday night game. I got Ravens, man.
I got Ravens.
Got the Ravens.
Eric has Ravens in there.
And I have the Ravens.
I think the defense is gonna have a big game.
You know who I think low key might have a good game? Deshaun Jackson.
I can see it. I can definitely see him. He playing on the turf. They indoors. Everybody seems so much faster in New Orleans. Michael Thomas is out again.
Everybody gets injured on turf.
Yep, that too.
And Shawn Jackson. Sorry.
Goodness,
Eric
goodness
always
gracious. Goodness.
Yeah, he played all 16 games last season.
I'm trying to tell you, don't even let him practice. Just use him for the actual game. Don't even let him practice.
What we got? What did he say?
Ooh, Malik. Okay.
With
the
Malik got the Saints. You believe in Andy Dalton, huh? That what you trying to say? Primetime game. I need Lamar to get some of that money back. They say, hey man, hey. Don't mess this up.
Got him in fantasy?
I would.
That's right.
I would if I could. Thanks, DraftKings. Thanks.
But I would if I could.
And that's it for our picks this week, bro.
No.
You know, Thursday night game, bro?
Thursday night game.
Right. My bad.
Oh, my
I forgot
God.
about that. I forgot. I'll move on. My bad. Week 10.
We got the Falcons Panthers here.
Oh, Jesus.
So I know it's not up there, but Falcons at Panthers.
Oh, that's a struggle.
Yeah.
Give me the shit. Damn. I'm gonna go with the Panthers because they got to get some some kickback.
I got Falcons.
That's
what I'm talking about, Earl.
At home.
Falcons at Panthers. Who you got, Eric?
I got the Falcons in this game. Less travel time. They be right there. Falcons are already at home. Even though I think they're going to lose to the Chargers, but they already be closer to home. And Panthers got to fly back from Cincinnati.
Gary Malik, Falcons at Panthers. Eric, Falcons at Panthers. Oh, is Eric even on? Oh.
Yes, is that right? No, I think they still hold you got up here.
Gary got Panthers.
Yep, Gary got Panthers.
I guess we'll have to get Eric's.
That's our picks, man.
You're good.
It's gonna be a good week 9, man. Get these guys. Oh, he's back again. I think he is. No, he's back there. So,
Eric, who you got? Thursday night, Falcons at Panthers.
The Falcons.
All right, Earl, that's your one off.
Yep.
There you go, man. Of course, man, we appreciate you guys tapping in with us. The pregame to the pregame. The Hot Seat
to the pregame.
Yep, the Hot Seat Podcast presents football talk. And of course, make sure you tap in with the Hot Seat Podcast on any and all of the podcast streaming platforms. Season 7 is out right now. We'll be tapping in this week with none other than Amir Driver. I can't talk, I swear. Episode 94 this week. And we're well on our way to our 100th episode, man. So for myself, storyteller, Earl, Eric, yo, it's the hot seat, man. Enjoy your football Sunday. We out.